All right, good evening. And I want to welcome everybody to the regular meeting of the City of Mercedes, April 21st, 2026, 6:30 PM. And I now call this meeting to order. Next, I'll establish a quorum, starting to my right. Go ahead, Commissioner.
Commissioner Armando Garcia, place 2, present.
Left.
Ruben Saldana, Commissioner, place 4.
Joe Martinez, Commissioner, place 3.
And Oscar Montoya, Mayor, and we're 4 out of the 5. Moving on to the invocation, Commissioner Aldana, if you wouldn't mind.
Spiritual. Join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for bringing us together today. We ask that you bring blessings upon our city as we discuss city business today. May it further the cause and the goals of our city and make life better for all of us. We ask that you guide us with your wisdom and bring your mercies and blessings on us all. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Commissioner Martinez, if you wouldn't mind, sir, the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
To open forum, I believe we have, nobody signed up for open forum. Okay, thank you. Moving on to the presentation, we have a presentation from Mr. Luis Aldana, Rio Grande Valley Livestock Show 2026. Another record-breaking year.
Another record-breaking year.
Chicken in every pot.
Well, good afternoon or good evening. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. Just to kind of give a little highlight, a little recap of our show this year. We had a really good show. This is our 87th livestock show, and we had in excess of 3,000 kids and about 7,000 plus exhibits that were part of the show. You can see, I don't know if you've got the little flyer. Do y'all have a copy of the flyer in front of you? If you do not, I've got copies here. Looks like this.
It's in the packet. It's in Civic Plus. There it is.
Okay, so if you have it, you're good. If you don't, I got a copy here. Nonetheless, I mean, you can see, I think I saw most everybody out there at some point during the show, some that we wanted to see and some that we were even more excited to see. Public Works was out there helping us fix an emergency, but nonetheless, that's just the way it
like a
gets that
stopped-up
magnitude.
toilet.
What's that?
Nothing like a stopped up.
Yeah. Well, I won't get into the gory details, but really grateful for the city being able. We were out there at I don't know, whatever it was, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, trying to find a plugged sewer drain that was backing up things onto the showgrounds. Turned out to be somewhere off of 491. It was actually off the grounds, but that's. Yeah, it was 2 years in a row. The other one was our lift station. That didn't make the Valley Chevy dealers real happy to have it back up right underneath all their brand new vehicles. But nonetheless, those are some of the. But it didn't deter the folks that came. I just wanted to put some highlights, some numbers. I'm a bit of a number person, so I wanted to share some things. And these are really conservative numbers. I'd much rather be on the conservative side than on the alternative side. In terms of a regional impact, we calculate somewhere around $28 million of impact in this regional community, more specifically Mercedes and the adjoining areas in hotels, dining, retail, fuel, wages, and by wages, I mean people that we pay. This is an interesting conversation that I had a few years ago when we had our spring breaks were kind of messed up and didn't align quite well with all the school districts across the valley. I believe that was a year ago. Yep. And it was an interesting conversation. I visited with some of the school administration, and it was fascinating to even hear this. I guess I've heard stories over the years, but that there's quite a bit of people in the community in the city of Mercedes that rely on the livestock show as a form of, temporary or, just a seasonal type of income. Some people work in the carnival to help carnival folks set up, the food vendors, things like that. And that may not necessarily be something that everyone, is excited about doing, but there's a lot of families, in Mercedes and adjoining areas that really rely on that. And so we're glad to do that. We hire probably about and when I say we hire actually somewhere in the neighborhood of 12. And most of the time they're either high school age, or right after high school that help us, during that 11 days of the show. Plus we hire some other seasonals starting in January and go all the way through. It's still got a couple of seasonal employees that are working as we speak. But so the economic impact across the Mid Valley and even across the Rio Grande Valley is significant. Conservative estimate, and this is a really conservative estimate. We normally are around 400,000 visitors that come through the showgrounds every year. To my surprise, I guess, I use that Placer AI, that software looks at cell phone data, and found some really interesting data. It's really accurate and it's really good. So we were able to find some, but there's some deficits. We have a highly intense youth kind of component to our participation with 3,000 kids coming daily. That adds up to about 30,000 kids that we really don't necessarily account for in these numbers. So we're reasonably close to 400,000 people that normally come through our gates. Local, whether it's significant or not, and this is hotel that the livestock show is paying ourselves. Does not include schools, travelers, vendors, contractors, and all kinds of other folks that come in and stay in local hotels, La Quinta, and the Quality Suites. A couple of years ago, I moved all of our booked rooms out of Donna. No offense to Donna, but wanted to bring them back to Mercedes. So we booked them all here at the Quality Suites in Mercedes, which has worked out well for Quality Suites. It's worked out for Whataburger, for Chili's, for the Outlet Mall, for all the kind of the Stripes, the Gateway, all of those that are really close. So that's worked out really well. 51,000 that we've paid directly to city EMS and PD in terms of security, off-duty security officers taking a little bit of time to be able to come and support the livestock show from a security and emergency management and medical services perspective. So that we're really glad to be able to do that. And we had actually, Denise was at our facility on Friday with Leadership Mercedes, and I used her as kind of an example. This we did a couple of years ago to try and streamline, the process for all of our vendors. When we've got 250 vendors trying to get sales permits and all of that stuff the day before the show, I think streamlining that and where they come to us and then we compile all that and give Denise's office one list has really helped, and we continue to work together on trying to make sure that everyone's registered and permitted and paying their respective sales tax, so we're doing what we can there. I think of all of this, what I'm most proud of this year is the $1.8 million in direct payments that are going out to youth in the next 3 weeks. We've been around 1.7 and it's grown every year a little bit. I remember back, I was going through some historical records, and the very first show, which was held in 1940, the total budget for the entire show was $1,000. And of that $1,000, $300 went to kids. So we've come a long way from $300 to 1.8 million. And if you take the last, say 10 years, we're pretty close to 17.5 to 18 million dollars that we've paid out to kids across the Rio Grande Valley, many of which are from the Mercedes community and surrounding areas. So we're really proud of that as well. I mean, that pretty much, I do have a video that I'd like to share, which is a recap video. And I believe they've got a copy they'd like to show with you, and then I'll close my comments. So just wanted to share that little recap. We just got that hot off the
Press.
the press, if you will, last week, and we're really grateful to have had such a good year. Our vendor numbers were up. You know, gross revenue from vendors was up. Our gross revenue from the carnival was up. One of the biggest significant changes is there could have been a hurricane in the Gulf, and I wouldn't have been worried about that. But convincing the board of directors to not charge parking was what kept me up at night. And it turned out to work exceptionally well. People don't come, and I'm credit, you know, some of the data we pulled off of Placer and so forth, that the average person that comes to the livestock show spends about 187 minutes on the grounds. And the objective behind going to free parking was people don't come to the livestock show to stand in line. They come to have a good time. And so we felt that trying to eliminate one of those lines and it helped on the traffic side. I think PD would tell you that, you know, there's some people that their metric of whether or not there's livestock shows a happening thing or not is whether or not there's a line of cars all the way to the outlet mall. And we don't have that issue anymore. We still have, you know, lines, and lines are always important because it just kind of demonstrates that there's people that are interested in what you're offering. And but that turned out to work really well. We got everybody in the parking lot. One of our volunteers who's been working parking as a volunteer for 26 years says, in 26 years, I've never seen that parking lot as full as it was this year. And so that was good. So any rate, that's all the good stuff. I think we have some challenges in front of us as we continue to look at ways that we can improve. I relish and glad to have the relationship that we do with the city commission, with PD, EMS, emergency management, all of our partners, Public Works, that all contribute in some, you know, really important way to make sure that the show works well and goes well. And one of the challenges, and I'll just leave this, you know, not necessarily in your lap, but leave it in for us to kind of maybe work on together. And it has nothing to do with the city's done or not done. I think this is more of an infrastructure issue. When you have that many people in one place, the toll that it takes on our cell phone capacity in this part of the valley is troublesome because. To be perfectly frank, you can be on the showgrounds and try to dial 911 and 911 won't even go through. And so for us, I mean, we have a great team, you know, there on site, the command center's there, you know, we have radios and we have all of that stuff so we can communicate within ourselves. But somebody trying to get out and, you know, make a 911 call is a bit challenging. We've already done some work years ago, probably about 6-8 years ago. AT&T was able to come in and put a small cell and help pull some of that demand off of it. And it's not bandwidth, it's just there's so many devices hitting the tower that it just makes it really difficult to get through. T-Mobile comes out, sits up right there in front of Taylor, directly across from Taylor. They set up a cell on wheels. But if you're an AT&T customer, it's extremely challenging to even, especially at that peak time from about 6 in the afternoon to about 9:30 or 10 o'clock, you can't send a text, you can't make a call, even if you're connected to Wi-Fi. And I don't know if that's something the city can work with us on. I know it's seasonal kind of of an issue during those 11 days.
I think if I can,
Sure.
I think it's time. I think we've talked about it sometimes. I think that this is, if it's not one of the top, it's pretty close in the state of Texas. So there's declarations that come with that where the state operations center gets involved, and certainly getting emergency called out is a big one. If you need anything from me to send a letter to the state, maybe we can start the plan as of now and include the state operations center on it. And we're already on their list. I know we're on their list, but maybe we can jump it to the level to where they come involved. And it's a bigger game when AT&T or those guys get called and they bring a whole cow system in and.
Right, and we're comforted. I know that emergency management, they do a great job of having
No.
their own network, so we know they're connected, we know they're
No,
live.
I'm talking about the people.
But the average, you know, person, guest that's out there gets a bit concerned.
No, I'm talking about those people.
Yeah.
They have the capabilities. They do it for the Super Bowl. They
Right.
do it for all those things to where people can talk on their phones. So,
Right,
but it would be something out of our emergency management.
And we're working on some things on, you know, we've already worked on, we invested quite a bit of money to put in fiber optic cable throughout the grounds to be able to, we didn't build a bigger highway, we just got everybody off our highway. so that we could be able to communicate better among ourselves, specifically for, those critical kind of things that we need to address.
Yeah, I had not heard about 911. 911's a whole different ballgame, so.
And it's not 911. It's really not. It's the
No, I'm
the
saying
cell phone
not being
network.
able to get there allows us to lift it to the next level of
Correct.
emergency.
Correct. So, any rate, I just come to you to say thank you to the city for your continued support, and we're really excited to have another great year. We're already planning for 2027, which will be our 88th show, and we hope it'll be better than last year's.
I think it will.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you.
much. Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate it, brother. Good job.
Thank you for coming and sharing the sort of the highlights every year. It really helps all of us to have an idea how everything went, and we just, I just appreciate knowing how everything went and some of the particulars there. I mean, we're all paying attention out there, but at least for the public and while we're all together, I think that's a good thing. And the people that I talked to, the vendors, and you said it as well, that spring break thing was really messed us up last year, and that was their biggest issue. It wasn't necessarily the show; it was the fact that we were disconnected, disjointed in when the school districts were designating spring break, and that was largely shoved down every school district's throat by STC. And it just messed everything up. So everybody got on the same page this year, and things were a whole lot better. So
I like the synergy of it, Louis. I think all the way down to the, I have noticed, and I think it's bleeding over onto our other ones as well, but the parade, I mean, I remember when it was just 2 deep, and this time it was 4 or 5 deep again, the way it was when we were kids. So I think it's doing, and that's what creates all the energy of keeping going. So I think that, and then the other one is God, man, the quality of the rodeo. Man, and unfortunately it got cold on us. So I had to take the missus out, but man, she didn't really, I mean, those guys are flying, and it's just a whole different level, that rodeo, of what it was in the past. So again, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. I echo what the commissioner said, and we just want to continue working with you guys, and hopefully we can do something about that communications issue. I think we can. Anybody else?
I just wanted to say also thank you, Louis, for all the hard work that you guys have been doing. It's been awesome to see it grow. I just kind of was curious, have you guys taken a look at how the alternative parade route went for you this time? I mean, were there any hiccups or anything like that? Because I know it was a brand new deal and everybody's trying to get adjusted to that.
That's a great, that was another significant change that we made, but with PD's help and just coordinating all that, it worked out well. 5 years down the road, when that neighborhood is a little bit more developed, that clearly may be an issue for us, because this year, instead of them going into the showgrounds and then going west towards Taylor and then all the way out to Vermont and to the Dome, they went east towards 491, and then they went north on 491 and by the old, I don't know the name of the neighborhood, but right there where Ross Gin used to be, that neighborhood, and that's where they unloaded and stuff. But on the bus side, like the schools, the kids that were marching and all that, we had the buses come on the grounds. So there was nobody walking on the street or any of that stuff, and it really helped quite a bit. But we'll see. That's a work in progress for us.
Well, you hear, listen to Chief. He's got an idea. I'm gonna put you on there, man. I'm gonna put you on there. No, Chief. I'm gonna put him on there. I know he gets all bashful. I don't know why he gets bashful, but he did have an idea that I hope you guys would consider, because we kind of saw it. I think there was a float that belonged to Stock Show that kind of went through the grounds, and it was a really good plan, because I thought maybe that could add to the ambiance of the whole Stock Show itself, was to be able to finish the parade on the Stock Show ground and kind of give people an opportunity to go and see the parade end in the show, and then while they're there, they could go and partake in things. So it was an idea that, maybe hopefully your board would be open to, because I figure we can exit through that fence, come out through the Dome, and then come back through Vermont.
Sure.
Maybe when that place develops, it's something you guys consider. Just, it's a good idea. And I thought about it, and I said,
We talked about it.
well, the Macy's Day Parade stops at Macy's. Why can't we stop at the Stock Show, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so, Hey, well, but it's Frank's idea if it works.
It is.
Way to throw him under the bus.
If it works, it's Frank's idea. If it doesn't work, it's Frank's idea. Either way, you know.
Good claim it if it's bad claim.
Yeah. But nonetheless,
Under
though,
the bus.
it was really awesome to see. It was really awesome to see. I want to just echo something the mayor said. You know, going and watching people in the parade and everybody just being, you know, happy about it. Kind of, it seems now that there's more people than there were in years past, and so it's really coming along. So
We did place a little
Great
bit
work.
more effort, very purposefully, on the parade. And I think with so many moving parts that we have, sometimes we pay attention to one and one area loses a little bit of its luster. But I think the parade, and this was something I talked to Hector Martinez, who's our committee chair, our volunteer, way back last year. And I said, we really need to push the parade. That's of everything that happens as part of the livestock show. That's the one thing that the entire community comes and enjoys, and it's there, it's in their neighborhood, it's in front of them. And so we're very purposeful, I think, this year about marketing and doing even some advertising, social media advertising about the parade itself. So I think that, and we brought in a lot more of our entertainers to participate in the parade as well.
Every vendor that I talked to said Saturday, they all, without exception, said Saturday was their best day, that the day of the parade, as far as revenue. And it wasn't, there wasn't another day that even came close to it.
Right. They were exceptionally happy, and that's good.
Well, thank you, Louis. Appreciate you.
Thank you all very much.
Appreciate you
Appreciate
taking questions and suggestions from Commissioner Martinez.
no, it's Frank. It's Frank. You know.
Yeah, Frank, the suggestions from Frank, yeah.
It's Frank. If it works, it's Frank. If it don't, it's Frank.
Moving on to 7A, approval of minutes for a meeting held April 7th, 2026.
Mayor, as regards to consent agenda, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to approve items 7A and then items 7B, C, D, and E, and forego the final reading.
I have a motion by Commissioner Martinez. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Garcia. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Moving on to item 8A, discussion, possible action to approve the interlocal agreement 2026-2027 between the Rio Grande Valley Emergency Communications District 911, Public Safety Answering Points, PSAPs for 911 service.
More ideas.
Last time I'm telling him an idea.
I'm just giving credit due, man. If it works, I don't want to be like, well, it was my idea.
Yeah. Well, Mayor, this is good evening, Mayor and Commission. This is obviously to renew our collaboration that we have with our 911, with RGV 911, and I honestly, I'll kind of throw a little bit in the mix here. It was just recently dispatch week, and we went out there and we got to meet with Dennis and some of the guys that sit on these boards for these things, and honestly getting the feedback back from our dispatchers. You know, they really take care of them and the equipment that they give them and stuff like that. So as per now, you know, I'm making the recommendation that we continue this partnership with them because we're not fully ready on the go here. I've already made a cost estimate as to how much it would cost to be here, and right now I really feel okay to have them there. There was some issues in the past where we were working on when they would call 911 and there wouldn't be assistance, but honestly, the big relationship has really improved between the 911, Mercedes, and Westaco. I mean, they just communicate with each other so much, and I got to see that firsthand when we went out there. So it's been working great, honestly. I would hate to move from anything like that right now. So I'm making the proposal that we continue the collaboration.
Thank you, Chief.
I move to approve.
I have a motion by Dr. Saldana. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Garcia. Any more discussion?
Chief,
Yes, sir.
I got to see that mobile PSAP that they have over
Yes.
and man, that is a neat thing. It's new, so I don't guess that you've had a chance to use it yet, but
I
the
did.
idea that you can put 8, 9, 10 different cities inside or more probably in that thing, and all of them handle 911 calls simultaneously.
I haven't seen it on purpose, but I did speak to Lieutenant Diaz yesterday about maybe having it at the stock show next year. It's another
Right.
idea.
Right.
But you know, I did think about that immediately. We had discussed that yesterday. I'm like, you know what, that mobile center would be really good for us here. Not saying that the county one is really good for us as well, but I'm just talking, I'm over speaking here, but we kind of want to put it in a different location inside the stock show in the north side somewhere, because that's a really good use on the comm center, on the comm side of it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Chief. Moving on to item B, consideration possible action to accept removal of 8.0 acre tract of land out of Lot 4, Block 40 of the Capistrano District subdivision of part of Llano Grande Grant as per map or plat thereof recorded in volume P, page 2026-2027, map records of Hidalgo, map records of Hidalgo County, Texas, from the city of Mercedes, ETJ, LGC, section 42.102B and section 42.105C.
Mayor, make a motion to approve.
I have a motion by Commissioner Martinez. Do I have a second? Okay.
So I'll second just so we can
I have a
hear more about it.
second by Dr. Saldana. Discussion?
Do you want to talk about it,
Denise?
Denise? Obviously, a little background, you know, when somebody petitions, you know, there's not much room for, you know, kind of stopping the process and all that. It's kind of cursory. There we go.
Well, I guess my question is what's to be gained by either party in this?
So the property owner, by annexing themselves from our ETJ, they don't have to go through the subdivision process with us. They're still in our water and sewer CCN, so they still have to submit those plans to us. We still have to review them. We do have to provide them water and sewer since they're in our CCN, but we don't review the subdivision.
And if they remain in the ETJ, what would be different?
They will submit the subdivision for review for the city, so they wouldn't have to follow all of the
Right?
ordinance.
I mean, they're not bound by it.
No, but they still have to follow the subdivision process.
And the reason I ask all of this is because I'm just thinking 10 years down the road, you know, all of a sudden we want more. And all of that costs money that the developer doesn't have to pay and the city ends up on the hook for. So, you know, that's my only comment there. I mean, if you're out in the county, it costs less, but at some point, people are going to want those services and they're not free. But that's my only comment.
Yep. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item C is same thing, consideration, possible action to accept removal of track 1, being 29.98 acres, being all of east 30 acres of lot 13, block 28, Capistrano District subdivision of Llano Grande Grant, Hidalgo County, Texas, and track 2, west 10 acres of lot 13, block 28, Capistrano District subdivision, Hidalgo County, Texas, from the city of Mercedes, ETJ, LGC, section 42.105C.
Mayor, make a motion to approve.
I have a motion by Commissioner Martinez.
Second?
Second by Commissioner Garcia. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Moving on to ordinance and resolutions. Consideration and approval of a resolution by the City Commission of the City of Mercedes, Texas, authorizing and approving publication of notice of intention to issue certificates of obligation complying with the requirements contained in Securities and Exchange Commission Rule 15C 2-12 and providing an effective date, Resolution 2026-19.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Bobby Villarreal with Estrada Hinojosa. Good news today, very good news. So I'll go through it. You have the document in front of you. So this would be a certificate of obligation, combination tax and lien revenue bonds for 2026 A and B. And again, if you go to the document there, what we have today, again, is the city of Mercedes entering into a CO with the Texas Water Development Board. As you know, I think, what is it, a couple months ago, we were before you and y'all did a deal for about 24 million, and that had a $10 million forgiveness on it. So essentially on the last one, you borrowed about 13 and you got 10 free. So that was for 24. Today, if you go to page 5, I'll just get to the meat of it. You'll see that today you're borrowing 11.78 million, and you're getting a principal forgiveness of 7.234 million. So all in all, on a $19 million project, you're essentially going to go at about 3.69%. It's a good rate. And again, you had essentially zero. You had the forgiveness is a big deal. So I mean, it's sort of a, if somebody could pay 40% of my mortgage, I would take that every day of the week. So congratulations to y'all on this.
Still got to make the mortgage.
I was gonna say, and we can afford, no, I was gonna say, and we can afford to make the mortgage now.
Correct. You did the right things to get
The
yourself
right
prepared.
time.
You had to get yourself prepared to look good to Water Development Board and rank well. And kudos to your team, Albert, the finance staff, the engineers that got all these things lined up and presentable
course.
to Water Development Board.
Matthew McConaughey's not welcome here, but
Where is he? Where is he?
We keep them somewhere. But like I said, yeah, just continue with the race as we discussed, and everything should go swimmingly. But again, if there's any questions,
So just to kind of recap, what was approved before as far as the year or two ago, water rate increases and all that took into consideration these potential opportunities.
Correct.
So there's no need for any water rate increases to be able to cover these obligations from the citizens of Mercedes, correct?
correct.
and we keep our A+
Yes.
rating on top of that, right, in case we need it.
Yeah. But again, you guys are a city on the grow. There's more things to come to you. So I think this puts you in a very good position.
All this is tied to water, by the way. Water improvements.
I mean, the other thing I would point out is, had you done this open market with no grant forgiveness, no nothing, it would have probably cost you $1 million more a year in debt payments. 900 million, 8 or 900,000 a year.
And I know this is not your presentation, but so, and essentially we should be coming out of debt in the next few years on more as we go, right? So while this helped us stay like this, our debt eventually is gonna start going down here in the near future, right?
Yeah, I would think so. But again, as it drops off, the needs continue.
Yeah, no, I guess the point is that we're not gonna be needing to borrow again and again and again, until, and we'll be in a good shape to do it,
Yeah.
I guess is the point, right? So we'll be freeing up debt and then
You'll
getting more
you'll
debt,
have some
freeing up debt.
You'll have
getting more debt.
capacity to do things.
Awesome. Alrighty. Thank you, Bobby. Appreciate you coming out.
Right.
Future's bright.
So can we talk about the
$34 million bright, huh?
Can we talk about the escrow agent?
That'd be fine
I
with
just
me.
want to make sure, I would like to recommend our local bank, sir.
I'm glad to hear it.
You and me both. Alright. Item 9B, consider and take possible action on ordinance 2026 dash, oh, I'm sorry.
Did that?
No, we did not. Yeah. So, okay, yeah, for the record. All those in favor say aye.
Made the
Aye.
motion.
Was there a
Oh,
motion?
No. Sorry about that, guys. Go ahead.
Motion to approve?
I have a motion by Commissioner Garcia, second by Commissioner Saldana. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Moving on to B, consider take possible action on ordinance 2026-13 to amend TERS number 1 agreement.
Mayor, this item is to amend the TERS agreement to satisfy some of the requirements of our previous agreement, and I recommend approval.
All right. And I guess, well, I'll wait. There's entertain a motion.
Well, the B and C go together, do they not? So I guess I have a question or two on that, but I would like to move that we approve ordinance 2026-13 and 2026-14 to amend the TERS agreement, TERS number 1 agreement,
To terminate.
to terminate, yes.
I'll second.
Motion by
Amend and to terminate, I'm sorry.
Motion by Commissioner Saldana, second by Commissioner Garcia. Discussion, go ahead, Commissioner.
Well, didn't get to read all 162 pages of all of those agreements going back however many years, and I'm gonna see if I can get that done at some point soon. But did we? I mean, those those agreements make money available, and I saw some of the projects that were supposed to be part of it. So was money pulled for that, for those kinds of projects?
then?
Back then? And because there's the pulling out and the paying back and all of that, I'm just kind of curious.
So the answer is yes. However, at some point, the information that allowed us to look at it
Track it, account
dropped
for it.
out some years back, to the point that nobody knew whether we owed the, what was the name, foundation back then, or they owed over
Industrial
here, the
Foundation,
Industrial
yes.
Foundation.
Correct.
The county, who paid the county, who didn't. At the end of the day, all we know is that the county's giving us a bill saying, hey, you need to do this if you want this money, and we can't prove any of what they need from us. It's that simple. We
There's
cannot-
no records.
There's no record.
The record is, part of it was a challenge.
The
The
original-
challenge, we failed at the challenge. It was a challenge. They tried. It's not like our people didn't do everything they can. They went through boxes and everything.
Right,
Probably
right,
we just never
right.
could-
Yeah, but this is going back to whenever this thing was
2008.
2008. Yeah.
2008.
So it benefited us back then, but now when it's time to go to the next one, this albatross is hanging around our neck. So this is the best option. And even Sen, my question would be, I'm sorry, did you finish your question? So does the county, I know, I saw the email telling them you were doing it. Were they acceptive of that it seemed like they were?
It seemed like they were gonna accept the amendment, but they wanted the official action to come before them, and then they would take it to their commission.
So we're just sending to it backwards. We're gonna take the action and send it to them.
Yes.
But we did keep them informed of what we were doing.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 10A, consideration and action to renew the contract between City of Mercedes and Dr. Andrew Levine, Medical Director.
Motion to approve, Mayor?
Motion by Commissioner Garcia.
Second.
Second by Dr. Saldana. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 10B, discussion and action regarding Cintas contract for uniform services.
Basic renewal, there are some things we discussed with them in detail, and they were left on the contract, but it doesn't mean we have to use them. For example, we looked at the floor mats and what we're paying for them a month and all that, and I think there's things we can save on, but we're not obligated to use that part of the contract,
They're just obligated to honor the price if we do.
Correct.
Now with these floors, we don't need them.
Motion to approve?
All right, motion by Commissioner Garcia, second by Dr. Saldana. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Monthly department reports, IT, library, city secretary, fire, and public works. Anybody got anything good?
Everything's great.
How did our Little League thing go yesterday, or our baseball thing go yesterday? Go good? That was awesome, man.
Can you touch on the numbers?
Was the little, yeah, come on up here. Now, coming up. Was the little boy okay? The one I hit in the head?
Yeah, yeah. The mayor's first pitch clocked the little boy in the head with a baseball.
We asked for somebody, hey, we need someone who's gonna catch the ball, and the kid volunteered. He volunteered. He was just.
He just didn't catch it with a
Oh, he
glare-
got it.
I
It
think
just
was the
bounced out.
glare. It bounced right off his forehead. And
Can you talk about the numbers this year versus last year, just to give him a reference?
so last year we didn't have a league.
Okay.
But the only league, there was Little League out there, and then we had Pony. So Pony did submit a report of what they had. They were at around 70 kids last year is what what we received in payment for them. This year, with our first year, we were at 80 kids. 80 kids for our first year. So we were able to fill the three divisions that we were looking at, and we're hoping to add to that next year because we did get requests about softball and some other stuff. So as we continue to grow, we'll continue to add to it.
Yeah, and I think something that's important to note was, Commissioner Garcia cleared it up for me. I was concerned when I saw there was only 2 teams, but Chief Sanchez cleared it up for me. So they're going to be playing. I think that's something new to
It's
that
the same
specific league.
Yeah, it's the same partnership that we're carrying on with La Feria.
That's great,
They're
man.
bringing teams over, and then we reached out to Gentleman Ray in
Weslaco.
Weslaco. He's going to bring some teams over and stuff.
Awesome. So basically, it's going to be our own little travel
Yeah.
league, right? That's good.
So we had Astros and Rangers, but for each division.
Right.
Yeah, so it was the same 2 teams per
Awesome.
division. So
And now this time, it's going to be kids that are from Mercedes, right?
all Mercedes in our
That's
league.
great. All right.
But they'll be playing teams from other cities, and
Yes,
I think that adds a little spice, you know, to everything.
Be able to showcase, our fields and stuff as well. So the agreement we have is that they'll come to play here one day, we'll go to play there one day, and then one day will be Mercedes kids playing against each other. So we're not just constantly playing the same kids over and over. And they also get to travel while doing it, so.
Sharp uniforms, sharp caps, and the happy kids. I can't serve that.
You touched base on the numbers from the Pony League from last year. Did we get a count from the Little League from last year?
I have a rough number from them, but I'd have to look at my email, sir, but I did get a number from them.
So for next year, we could possibly double our numbers. Is that correct?
That's what we're hoping. We're hoping to. We also did get several sponsors. We had 6 total sponsors, I think, that helped out this year. So, and then after we did last night, I've already had 2 or 3 other vendors that reached out to me and said, hey, you know what, next year put us down. Just give me the paperwork ahead of
Do you
time.
remember off the top of your head the sponsors? I know USW, I heard Bristol.
Driscoll, SKO Elite.
Okay.
US Water, LNS Air, and
MKC
Mondo?
and then
Mondo?
Garcia Insurance Group as well.
Insurance Group.
Wow, man. Broke out $10.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, it was a big help. All the sponsors really. So if they had a banner out there yesterday, and they were one of our higher end sponsors.
Maybe we can sign up the livestock show.
There you go.
I was gonna say, man,
Yeah.
hit up Louis, he's right there, in the suit, the guy in the jacket right there. No, seriously,
We
I
also
was,
had the sponsorship from Mercedes PD, Chief also.
yeah,
They
Chief
sponsored
helped.
with hot
and I
dogs.
think, they brought the hot dogs too,
sir.
one of the, was that the organization or the actual, who was it, Costco or Sam's? Sam's, and they donated and brought it, right? Oh, y'all brought them, okay.
Yeah, and then we purchased also some from some of the sponsorships that we had because we wanted to have free hot dogs and drinks for the kids. And,
Awesome.
and Frank and PD were nice enough to help us out with that as well.
Yeah, we also had MKC as one of our sponsors too. We didn't mention them. What's good about our sponsors, it's vendors that do business with the city and everything. So they're giving back to the youth.
That's fantastic. I really appreciate
Great job,
your
guys.
report, and I tell you, the field looked real good. I didn't get to see the other fields. I drove by there, the ones on the south side, probably about a month ago, about 2 weeks ago, and I could see that there's some work being done. When are we gonna finish all of them? What's the goal?
So we purchased the equipment for the baseball field, so it should have got here last week. There was a little bit of a delay on some of the attachments that we purchased with it. I just got the email from the gentleman yesterday. He's saying that we're hoping to have it in next week. So I think as soon as we break, we're planning a 4-week program, 3 games a week so that we can get done faster. As soon as we break, we'll get on the fields again. So with the equipment that we're purchasing, we're going to be able to do most of the renovations that we were suggesting to get done as far as when I started getting quotes for the infields, the outfields, all that work, we'll be able to do it in-house with this equipment.
Awesome, man. Well, great job, guys.
How
It was
about,
very- I enjoyed it.
how about the lighting there at the fields?
So the lighting, actually, we're working on an RFP right now to start getting pricing for doing a retrofit from the old, I think they're like high pressure
They're gas
sodium
light,
lighting.
yeah, they're gas.
To get them to LED. So I've already had a vendor go out there. He did. He sent me the photometrics. He told me that the poles are compatible for them just to do a retrofit. So it would be less lights, higher light output, and we would be energy saving because everything would be LED on control system as
And
well.
you'd be able to control it from your phone.
Control it from our phone, sir, yes.
Fantastic.
So
How about the scoreboards?
the scoreboards, Richard and I already have pricing for the scoreboards as well. So one thing that we had spoke to Mr. Perez about is we want to get sponsorships, right? So we'll sell the sponsorship rights to the scoreboards and that'll be the way to
Do we
offset
have
that
any-
cost.
we have any prices?
The scoreboards themselves are gonna run us, the smaller ones, around $6,000, $7,000. We're gonna have to do some electrical work out there, which also we want to include that price into the sponsorship. So hopefully it'll cover the.
Give us a shot to make some calls as well, so. All right,
Sure
Thank
will.
you, guys. Appreciate y'all, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I've got some comments on Public Works.
All right. Public Works,
Tom worked so hard on that, I could tell, and so I wanted to, I don't know, you may want to weigh in on some of this, but you've got a good variety of stuff, the kind of the sewer lids, I noticed some work on hydrants continues, and now they're putting the 4 poles around it in case somebody's texting and runs off the road.
Yes, we've had several that cars have been running into. We just want to go and protect those hydrants that we've been
good idea.
replacing.
Good investment.
It's yes, sir.
So there was two not too long ago that got run over very close to each other.
Along with our boot on Third Street,
Yes,
yeah.
and so those are the ones that the pipes are being set up around to protect them.
But he's
Anything
got
else you wanna bring
continuous
up,
work,
Tom?
continuous work, sir. It's
Well, yes,
never ending.
You want to talk about 10th Street Bridge?
Yes, sir. Last week we had a gentleman call in that there was as a matter of fact, Commissioner Martinez called in that there was a hole on 10th Street. So I show up and there's TxDOT was doing an evaluation on the bridge. So it comes out to be that there's a lot of erosion coming from underneath. So we got Mr. Posadas, the engineer from SDI, to come by and evaluate the bridge. So once again, we are coming up with a plan to fill in that erosion that has decayed over the years. So that's the plan that we're doing right now, just filling in both ends of the bridge and just trying to make it safer again. You know,
But it's being
level one.
engineered, so it's not just our guys.
That is correct. Yes, sir.
I don't know, but I know 3-4 years ago or so, irrigation district number 9 brought in a lot of dirt when we were doing the detention ponds over at, I think it was at Collier, and they were coming down 14th Street. Maybe it was the Dome as well, but it was, I remember making trips with those dirt buggies for what seemed like months. And they fortified the banks of the canal. They made them wider. So now we got people running up and down in those little utility vehicles. But when you add that much new dirt to a bank, there's always a risk of some settling over time, I would think. I don't know if that's the reason for that, but I was kind of curious about it.
Over the years, Commissioner, just that there's a lot of erosion. There's water that's coming in from all four sides of the bridge. And
Okay.
It's I will be passing down a picture of that erosion, which is quite intensive.
Okay.
My concern here is I just want to make sure that the bridge is going to be good enough for the continuous traffic that we have in regards to the two neighborhoods and the school. I mean, the school buses that go there on a daily. So
Well,
that's kind of really more my concern is how far are we? And Albert, that might be for you too, when speaking to an engineer. I just want to make sure how long, if this bridge is good, and I hope it is, how long is it before we need to start making plans should we need to replace that bridge?
So
I'm only
TxDOT
guessing here.
inspector kind of said, you don't need to do anything to the structure. You just need to take care of what's been eroded.
Okay.
But we didn't want to just go and throw dirt at it ourselves. That's why we brought in the engineer and say, hey, help us put together a plan to make sure that, because the TxDOT's supposed to be back in 30 days.
That is correct.
And inspect it after we're done. So every step of the way, it's being inspected by TxDOT.
Sure.
And the engineer has to also approve what he's doing.
Well, and taking into account the last few floods that we've had, it's actually covered the bridge. So the water's gotten high enough to where it covers the bridge, pretty much makes it impassable, right? So I can imagine where you're talking about erosion, a lot of the dirt, it's been dry. Now we're expecting more rain this year. I just want to make sure because that little sinkhole was no small deal. It was pretty deep.
That it was.
To
Sure.
the point where you could see all the way down, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, sir. You're absolutely correct.
So that's kind of, a little bit of a concern. I just want to make sure that we're
I'm no
prepared.
engineer, but I called them some years back complaining about the hydrilla. And they told me that the reason they wait on that is that every time they dig up the dry hydrilla, they're taking years off the embankment. That's part of the reason they added dirt, but it doesn't take away from what's inside. So the more we control the hydrilla, the less they dig, because every time they dig out those things, they're taking out some of the banks.
Right.
Yeah.
So Jojo White was the one that told me, he was, well, we can keep on digging it, we can dig it all the time, but eventually we're gonna run out of ditch. So I guess we're paying for the hydrilla, whoever decided
That
to
we
bring
are.
that into
I
the
think
United
that's what I'm
States.
saying, Mayor. I think it's important for us to get that type of evaluation of how long does the bridge have? What is the lifeline? Because if it's, I don't know, I'm only saying, let's say it's another 10 years, then at some point we need to start preparing for what that cost is going to look like when we do consider redoing all of 10th Street. So,
Well, I'm glad we got Mr. Posadas involved. Yeah.
well, I don't want to think about people falling either.
No, by no means.
So,
All right, anything else?
Hopefully within the next 2 weeks, we'll give you another recap.
Okay, can you give us a little bit on the dome, the drainage project over at the dome? I saw that they're really still.
They're moving, all the pipe has been laid, covered, so they're working on the detention pond currently. So they're a little bit ahead of schedule, Mayor.
So the detention pond, so they connected to the existing detention pond, or they're digging it right now?
They're digging it right now, sir.
Okay, because
That was in that woody area off in the back.
That is correct, yes, sir. All
they
that's
had
been,
kind of done a little bit to
Yes,
to
yes.
some of it, but my understanding is it's going to be much larger. That should help out a lot there.
huge.
on
I
Orange.
know, Mr. Gonzalez was out there, last week? Did a walkthrough, so they're way ahead of schedule, Mayor.
Right, okay, appreciate it.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Anybody else? All right, thank you so much. And those are some good reports, by the way. Moving on to item 12, executive session, 551, Texas Government Code, section 551.071, consultation with attorney, section 551.072, deliberation regarding real property, section 551.074, personnel matters, section 551.07, economic development. We're moving into executive session and to do items A through D. Do I have a motion?
Motion to go into
Motion by
executive.
Commissioner Garcia to go into an executive session. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Martinez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We're in executive session. It is 7:22 PM.
Bueno, mira.
All right, it is 8:10 PM and I call this meeting back into session. We have nothing on item A, B, and C, but I believe we have something on item B. I'm sorry, D, my bad.
Okay, let's see how we word this. I move that we approve the DCM $75,000 incentive to Blue Bunting Lodge.
Oh, a motion by Dr. Saldana. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Garcia. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 14, adjournment. Do I have a motion?
Motion to adjourn?
Motion by Commissioner Garcia. Do I have a second?
Second.
Dr. Saldana, second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. It is 8:11 PM. We are adjourned.